You're listening to the Comic Crusaders Podcast. I am your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. In this show, I'm sitting down with creators from all walks of life to talk about inspiration, process, the lessons they've learned, and a whole lot more. Wepa, what up, mi gente? It's your boy Al Mega. Welcome to a brand new Comic Crusaders Podcast. Today, we talking comics. Some crowdfunding comic. What this project is kicking butt on Kickstarter with a multitude of days to go, right? So I have the creative team, this creative duo. First up is my return guest from T-Pub, the one, the only, El Señor Neil Gibson. What's poppin', kiddo? How you doing?
Man, you're so enthusiastic. I feel so reserved and British. And so, I'm fine.
I'm good. Awesome, brother. Let me introduce your big homie here, your partner in crime on this kick-ass project that is called Amuputation Capital. Yes, folks, it's as sick as it sounds, and I love it. The one, the only, very talented Raymond Tyler. What up, kiddo? How you doing?
I'm doing well, dude. I'm doing well. Yeah, I'm doing great.
Excellent. Yeah, man, not just you. The project is going great. This Amuputation Capital, guys, congrats. I mean, I see that it's already been funded over the goal, expected goal, with a multitude of days to go. But, folks, we're going to get into all that. I'm going to show off some goodies in a moment. But first up, Neil is a return guest. Just, what's up, Neil? How you been since our last podcast?
Honestly, I've forgotten how enthusiastic and powerful you are. It's American confidence. It's amazing. I'm great, thank you. I'm doing very well. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. In Brooklyn, eating good pizza, good bacon, egg, and cheeses, and hopefully not busting my pocket, trying to save as much as I can. You feel me? It's very difficult. Raymond knows. Yeah. That's why he's making big moves. So, big homie, what's popping with you, Raymond? This is your first time on the show, and I need your origin story. So let us know where you're from, where you grew up at, and the taste of how you got into this whole fandom.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Raymond Tyler. I was born in Northeast Georgia. There's not too terribly much to do in the area that I grew up in called Flowery Branch.
Not even heard of
it. Yeah, right. It sounds about as small as it is. And there was a comic shop like 30 minutes away in like the bigger town next to us called Beaufort. Okay. And the comic shop was called Galactic Quest Comics. My brothers were into like Star Wars trading cards. I have two older brothers, right? And anyway, they go to my parents take them to the comic shop to get Star Wars trading cards. And I'm a kid running around touching everything. And very luckily, the owner, his name is Kyle, he was such a nice dude, was more than happy to have me running around touching everything. And he handed me my first Superman comic, and I fell in love with it, and never stopped reading comics, never stopped liking comics. Sunday Funnies was my favorite thing.
Do you still have it?
Do I still have the Superman comic?
Yeah.
Somewhere. See, I don't really have a collection of comics. I have like an accumulation. I'm a dollar bin fiend. So I have
nothing wrong with that.
Stacks. Right. I have just like stacks and stacks. So it's absolutely somewhere in there. The last time I saw it would have been about 2 years ago when I was flipping through some old stacks. Like, oh, look at this thing. But then it just kind of gets mixed in with the other stuff. So I kind of like it like that because then, when I'm flipping through books, I'll just end up running into it.
You get surprised. Oh, I didn't know I had that.
Yeah, it's still here. Right. So, and that's how I got into comics. And I started to, when I was a little kid, then I started to attempt to draw my own very poorly. And I would make a lemonade stand every summer, and I would sell the lemonade for 25 cents. And it came with a comic. You had to take the comic. Right? There was no way around it. Right?
Was it organic lemonade?
What? Oh no, it was like absolute crappy, Minute Maid. But then there was like this little that I like folded like hot dog style. And if anybody was ever like, no, I just want the lemonade, and then no, you have to take this. So yeah, that's how
you got no choice.
Right.
Oh, now I see where the main character gets the sales balls.
Actually, awesome. It's funny you say that because one of the main character experience with his dad is the same thing that Raymond's dad said to him. So Raymond pulled a lot of people he's met in his life to fill out the characters, which I thought was really great characterization.
Yeah,
definitely was. I had the pleasure and honor of reading all the chapters on this baby. I'm like, wow, wow, wow. I could not stop reading. I'm supposed to be working, and I'm over here like, wait a minute, slow right now. I gotta keep reading.
I'm so happy you enjoyed it. Yeah.
Well, I loved it. I loved it. And I think the fans are gonna eat this up. All right. So let me ask you, Raymond, did you have a tribe growing up? Or were you a lone wolf out there in Georgia other than your siblings? Or outside of your siblings?
I was pretty much a kind of a loner reading kid. In high school, I got really into theater and like kind of other artsy stuff, and that was about it. But I loved playing in the woods growing up, and I lived right in the woods, and so I would go out in the woods, I would play, and I would always bring like a stack of comics with me. And like taking breaks between kind of playing like whatever I was doing, I would like build like stick forts or something, something that a kid would do. And then
you were making nests, and here we go. Let me sit down in my nest that I just.
You're right, exactly. And then would read a bunch of comics until I heard my parents screaming outside, Tyler, come in. So yeah.
Don't you worry, my mom did that at the window in Brooklyn too. We live on the 4th floor, so
Right.
The whole neighborhood knew my name. You know what I mean? I was like, Jesus Christ, I gotta get a tag name. That way they could be like, who the hell is she calling?
Yeah, right, absolutely.
Awesome. So you said you were drawing as a young kid, whatever, right, and doing your thing. When did you actually really take it serious?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I started to take it serious. I had read a book. First, I had read this book called Infinite Crisis, right? I think. And then I was at a comic shop and somebody had recommended, they're like, oh, if you like this, you should read Watchmen. I was in like 5th grade, right? And I buy this book. I start reading it. And about, 10 pages in it, I'm like, when are the superheroes gonna come? These people are terrible. Right. I keep reading it. I get I get to a specific scene. I close the book and I put it under the bed and I'm like, I'm never reading this again. Right. That lasts about 2 hours. I take the book. I finish the book. I get to the end of the book. Right. And one night it's like 2 a.m. I'm in 5th grade. Close the book. And then I'm genuinely thinking it's like, okay, there has to be a sequel. That can't be the way this book ends. Right. I'm missing a few pages, something. Go back to the comic shop. I end up talking to the comic shop guy. And I'm like, hey, where's the rest of this book? I'm like,
something's off.
Right, exactly. And there's like, no, that's how it ends. I end up getting obsessed and start like looking up all about Alan Moore, all about this comic, what the comic means, and I get absolutely obsessed with it. I end up reading it so many times after that. And from that moment onward, I wanted to do comics and I wanted to write graphic novels.
You wanted to do more, no pun intended.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So that was the kickoff. And then I started reading people like Harvey Pekar, became one of my favorites, like the American Splendor.
Yeah.
Started reading other and alternative comics and underground comics. So that was about it, right? And that was the whole journey into getting really, really into comics and wanting to do it. Then I went and got a degree, BFA in creative writing and an MFA in creative writing. Unfortunately, there's not too much comic studying in those courses, but I ended up meeting this lovely British gentleman right here.
Are we going to get this? We're gonna get the story of the bromance now.
Yeah,
give me your side of the bromance.
And so I ended up finding like a copy of Twisted Dark. I don't remember what year it was. It might have been 2016 or 2017. I'm not certain what the year was, but I ended up finding this book. It wasn't at a convention. It was just on the shelf. I ended up picking it up. Usually when there's like independent like books and a title grabs me, I'll just grab the book. And I read the first story, I think, in the shop just because it was really quick. So I read it and I was like, this is really cool. Bought the book. Anyway, I guess years later, I had a pitch, right? And I ended up sending it into TPub. And Neil and I ended up on several phone calls. And, I didn't actually really know how to write comics. And so it kind of became like a co-writer and mentorship. Because I had been studying prose writing, right? Which is very different than comics writing. And so, yeah, and then basically he taught me how to write comics, and we started writing this together. It was a lot of fun.
And this is all being done through the net, right? Or did you guys meet in person ever?
We met in person at New York Comic Con where he stood me up.
Oh, you stood. Oh man, look at it! What a bromance! That's not a way to go with it, bro.
That's not. So this isn't what happens. He's at Comic Con, right, in New York, and that's where I live. He's at Comic Con. We agreed to get food, and then before the restaurants decided, my phone dies, and then I can't recharge it. Right, it had like a piece of fuzz or something. It was an old iPhone. Like one that I really should have updated it. And then it had like a piece of fuzz in this little thing. And yeah, it sucked. So I wasn't able to reach him until after the evening's over.
The phone's navel basically had lint.
Right. Yeah, right? Exactly. It was, yeah. And so then I go home and I message him. Then we go out to dinner the next day, and I ended up buying dinner since I missed the previous. Made everybody wait. So.
Neil, did you make him pay? Did you make him pay for that dinner? Really good.
He did. He's like, do this, or
we're going to Benjamin.
He said explicitly. He threatened violence on me.
Wow.
And especially
he was very shocked when I bought everybody dinner.
I was to say,
right. It wasn't really up for debate. I just kind of handed them my card and was like,
Nick, those dudes from the UK, you think they're talking nice to you, but they're really like giving it to you really hard.
Yeah, I know, right?
Are you insulting me or not? I'm unsure how to even respond right now. Awesome. So, is his version of the bromance correct, Neil? Is that how it all started?
No. I got an email asking some guy, please, can I meet you at New York? And they didn't turn up. That's what happened. No, that's pretty accurate. So I get a lot of pitches, and the thing is, you can put on a website, these are submission guidelines, and almost no one follows them. Right? They just send a bulk email to all publishers they can find. And when they do that, I already know they're not even taking that time. It's going to be rubbish. Most of the stuff, 90% is crap. His followed it specifically. I get only about 7 a year that do that, really, which is surprising. And then also, it was good. It was different. It looked professional. Nice. So it really stood out. We actually went in a different direction completely from the original pitch, but that doesn't matter because it was his willingness he cared about the final product, not where the idea came from. And this is real collaboration. Like when you really collaborate with someone, you forget where it comes, where the idea is. It doesn't have to be yours at all, as long as the end product is good. So I forget who writes what in this thing. I hope Raymond does as well. But we end up making it better together. And that's what I really enjoyed about it.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. So what was that pitch like, though, for you? I mean, what stood out to you, Neil, when he submitted the pitch?
It was concise. It wasn't just a log line and then something generic. It was different. So I've heard him do the summary now so many times, so it's not going to be the same as it was. But what it stood out was that this is a place where people can buy and sell body parts on a legal market. If you're a celebrity and you're short on cash, and you want to sell part of your ear, you can do that, and fans will buy it. Now, I'd never heard anything like that before, and it was said very concisely. The story wasn't. We changed the story. I can't remember what the story was originally, but I'm not doing it. It's a good question you asked there, but that's what I remember now. Okay, it was the concept and the universe was good, and that's all Raymond's.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. See, folks, what you got to do, be concise to get a person's attention like Neil, like, okay, wait a minute, this is different. Because it is a sick book. I'll tell you that much. It is wild. I need to dig into the roots of this. But before we do that, let me bring up the Kickstarter because I want to show the video. And then we're going to get into the deeds of the mind sickness you have here to create something so sick. Actually, let me make sure I put my sound on this bad boy. Because you know technology, right? You know technology be acting funny, right? All right, 1 second, folks. Bear with me. Bear with me. Technology, all right? There you go. Share the system audio. Want to make sure you hear this. It's important. All right, so check it out, folks. I'm going to bring this bad boy up. There we are.
And okay.
What do I do?
Hi, I'm Raymond Tyler, and I have my phone in the shot. I'm Raymond Tyler, and I'm the co-creator of Amuputation Capital with this British named Neil Gibson. That's harsh. Neil and I started working on this book back in 2019, and now it's finally here, and I'm super happy to share it with everybody. Amuputation Capital is a dystopian present where celebrities and influencers sell body parts on a publicly traded skin market. The story focuses on 3 characters that are displaced and objectified by the skin business. Alfie is a lowly skin trader who has dreams of becoming a CEO. Morgan is a recently divorced actress who sold her ring finger for $2 million. And Walter is a former porn star who sold his cock after accidentally appearing in a porn film. The 3 characters mirror different aspects of the skin business: buying, selling, and sometimes eating. Amuputation Capital is death of a salesman in song. I had a great team for this project. I had Andre Rizzo on art. I had Liz Buenaventura and Anisi Posa on colors, Jed McPherson on letters, and they were all wonderful and lovely people to work with. I recommend you look up their work. For this campaign, we've tailored our rewards to something that both fans of the digital comic and the print comic can enjoy. We understand that people are consuming comics differently since the 2020, since the pandemic. I've changed the way that I've started to consume comics, so that's why this entire project is going to be a Global Comics exclusive, and you can go right now and you can read the comic on globalcomics.com. But if you're like me and you like to have a physical copy of the books that you like in hand, this is what that's for.
Ooh. Hey, is that British guy?
Hi, my name is Neil Gibson, and I'm the co-writer of Amuputation Capital. Amuputation Capital is Raymond Tyler's idea and his concept, and I helped him bring it to life. And as you can see, I clearly love comics, and I hope that if you read the free sample and get the book, you'll love this comic too. Thanks for supporting us, and all the best.
Woo! Kitties, you have no idea of the awesomeness of this amazing project. For real, it's dope. So I need to know, Ray, where did this spark come from? Yeah, go ahead.
I've got a question for you, Al. You do this video thing all the time, and you're used to seeing yourself in front of the camera. I'm willing to bet Ray and I both hated seeing ourselves in that video.
I'm sure you guys did. That was a fun. And I love the intro. I think that was one of the funniest and best Kickstarter videos I've seen. Holy, well, too much. Yeah, amazing.
Took
I love it.
Quite a number of takes.
No, that's fire. It's fire. But talk to me, Ray. Where did this idea birth from? Even it's really sick-minded. I mean, and very interesting. It's true, just like Neil had said earlier. It's not something that I had even thought of prior. I mean, you know that there's a body parts market, but you're talking about like willingly giving up shit. Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah. The idea came from, I worked in influencer marketing actually for a period of time, and I also lived in Los Angeles, and I wanted to combine those two things into a story. I don't remember exactly like where the idea came from, and it's not to like shit on influencers or anything like that, like the people that I worked with. But there was always like, I don't know, there was always this kind of interesting, weird sort of like desperation, like, okay, I have to stay relevant or else I'm going to go back to that crappy job I worked before. Right. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of where that idea had come from, because a lot of the influencers that I knew and I worked with were genuinely very creative people. They were really good at taking photos. They were really good at posting. They were really good at connecting with people. And a lot of them came from just the same kind of world that I did. There wasn't anything to, some of them were terrible, but, others were, were just creative people who were really trying not to go back to that minimum wage job, which I could empathize with that.
Of course. Absolutely. Let me start bringing this up because you have one hell of a team working with you, because the book is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, look at this sick cover here. I mean, I don't know if that's something I'll take a picture of to eat, but hey.
The artist, I have to give him credit, because the artist came up with this cover. He was working on the book. Andre was working on the book, and we were talking about cover ideas, and he's like, hey, there's one that I want to try. And he drew this. He just came up with this cover idea. I loved it.
It reminds me, it looks like Vienna sausages with nails on them.
Right? Yeah, exactly. It almost looks like food.
So, and in reading and things that you've mentioned, it seems like you took a lot from your personal life here, because there's things here about sales. It reminds me of there's something in there about a lemonade stand, which is funny, and talking about working with the influencers. So obviously we see that effect there. Now hopefully you didn't work in the porn industry, or maybe you did. Hey man, that's another show. That was a sick one too. That kind of like whoa, and especially the scene. I was like, oh god, like jeez. I mean, you made me squirm. Right. Movies make me squirm. This is the first time a comic book made me go, oh, damn.
The worst part is we found photo references for some of like the different like amputation capitals by request of the artist. Not like we just were like sent these to people unsolicited, but like, can you find some reference photos? And like,
this is what I want.
If you really want some reference photos of amputated things, we'll do our best. So it's pretty terrible.
Insane. You guys have been working on this, as you said, since 2019, 2018. About what made it take so long to produce this beautiful book you have now? Because that's quite a long time.
Raymond can answer this one.
I think that it honestly comes down to the pandemic. Everything kind of slowed way down. There's a Liesl Buenaventura was the colorist for the first 2 books, and she wasn't the colorist for the last 3 books. Is Agnese Posa. Absolute crazy things going on in her life. They're both wonderful people to work with, both Liz and Agnese. Wonderful people to work with. But yeah, everybody's life was really caught up with COVID, delayed a lot of art, delayed a lot of things. So that was really where it took the most amount of time. But I'm super proud of like everybody who's worked on this book. Yeah.
So did that time allow this story to get even crafted, like to be something more robust?
No.
Yeah.
Michael, correct me if I'm wrong, Raymond, but me, when the story was written, that's it's off the artist.
Exactly. No, yeah. Okay. Neil and I had edited and worked on this book for a while, right? Like, and spent a lot of hours working and editing on this book. So really, there was no changes. Like with the art, it was just everybody's life got crazy with the pandemic, and also every single person who works on this book lives in a different country.
Oh wow! Oh, so it's an international deal for real.
I know, right? So it's quite a bit, and you get to see how COVID affected different people in different parts of the world.
4 continents.
What was that?
4 continents.
Yeah, it's wild. Wow. So it was a wonderful team, though. They're all great people.
But it's obvious because look at this. Yeah. You guys were looking for 7,006 gold. You guys are currently at 8,378 with 25 days to go. And you said in the video, basically this is for people to have print copies. Yeah. It's available on Global Comics. Like, wow. People had a taste and they really want to print. That goes to show this story is fire and different. That's why we want in comics, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, thank you so much. It was really... I really like reading digital comics like as the years go by, but I also like to then purchase a print. I just read this book called Kill 6 Billion Demons. I don't know if you've ever read it.
Yeah.
But it was originally, I think it's originally just a webcomic, and that's how I found it, was reading in a webcomic. And then I was like, oh, there's a print of it. And then I got all the prints. It's a great book.
Dope. I mean, that's what TPUB does, though. They put up fire stuff out there in the world for people to enjoy sick stuff too. You know what I mean? What are you talking about, Spy Commander, Grandmaster? Who's the Spy Commander here? So talk about building that team. You know, did you guys have this team in mind prior to the creation of the book, or did you guys scoop them up as, you know, this is what we're looking for? Was there a tryout? Like, how did you even put this team together?
Neil, take it.
So I remember the colorist Liz, because she illustrated the Theory, which is another graphic novel of mine. She did all the coloring for that. So I thought her work was great, so I wanted to use her again. And Agnesi was doing another book of mine, which is why whenever Liz had to bow out, we got her. But I can't remember how we got Andre. I remember we looked at a couple of different artists, but can you remember, Raymond? It's just so long ago.
I think he actually sent you an email that week when we were looking at artists from your spreadsheet. Like, sent you an email that week, like his portfolio. And I actually had one of the books he worked on for Aspen Comics. And so I opened it up. Okay. I don't remember, Dalek. I think Dalek is the name of the book, I think. And then and so I think that was it.
It's interesting because if you look at his artwork, it's good at the start, but by the end, the last issue, it's really, really much.
He gets so good at drawing these characters, and it's also a hard book because, without giving away much, the characters start looking one way and they progressively look different as the book goes forward. And man, does he nail that in the last issue of like getting everybody to the final point of how they're supposed to look, right? Yeah. Oh, my favorite. That's my favorite thing that he did.
And I mean, look at these pages. And when I saw this, I started laughing because I'm like, can I think I imagine who this is supposed to be right here. I was like, oh damn, she sold that damn in the future. Jesus Christ. I guess you know, let me just say Ben probably didn't have enough for her, Bendita. That's crazy. And yeah, so did you guys look for any inspiration other than what you have here? Because again, you got like societies. Again, you got the surgery. You got, you know, business salespeople. Like were you really that busy in life? Because there seems to be a reflection just in the little things you said. Like I said, it's like you're bugging me out, bro. And hopefully you're not buying butt cheeks out there.
No, definitely not. I think any other inspiration, like outside of the base, came from actually Neil and I sitting down and building out the characters in the world, and then it starts to kind of flow naturally from there, if that makes sense. Like when you start sitting down and like talking about like we would just, you know, when you're working on characters and in the world like that you've created, more starts to kind of logically follow, right? If that makes sense. Yeah. So I think honestly, like, as far as, you know, as far as I know, I don't have any specific celebrities, right, that I was looking at or anything like that. Just kind of an amorphous, like, a celebrity, like, kind of gossip culture, right? Okay. If that makes sense. But yeah, I think, and then we just sat down, wrote the book, and started building fun things out from there.
This is what if National Enquirer actually opened up a body parts business.
Right. Yeah. Right. It doesn't sound too far off, actually. Like, from reality.
And look at this gorgeous art. Look at the panel, everything, dude. Crazy, yo, crazy. You know, she's not trying to do the Star Trek symbol, folks. She's not trying to do that.
It's actually, in that issue, is actually a panel page like 2 on from that, which I can't. But it's a twist that happens, and that's my favorite one. It's like a poster. It's a poster. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's a great one.
You guys have several things going on here. That's the whole thing. This is why I could not drop the damn book. I was like, yo, this is crazy. I love it.
Al, if you have a second, I'll show you my model. I'll explain how I view comics.
Go ahead. How do you view them, bro? Open it up, bro, to the world of Mr. Gibson's mind. Let's go.
Well, people buy comics for, I think, one of 5 reasons. Okay, you've got your premise, which alone can sell the whole comic. You've got your writing, you've got the artwork, you've got the coloring, and you've got the lettering. Some people just really love lettering. They really do. So I've seen people buy and think, oh, I like the colors. They flick through a book. Other people, they don't care about the story. It's all about the art. If the art's not good, they put it down. Some people don't care about the art. Oh, that writer wrote it, I'm buying it. Right? That's what they care about. If I talk just about writing right now, then I think there's 5 elements to it, which I have here. This is my model. Sorry for being so geeky about this, but this explains how I work with it. So if you imagine the old days of TV before streaming services, if you ignore the visuals, if the dialogue is boring or stupid, you're going to change channels, right? That's the dialogue. The next is the plot or genre. If it's you hate romance or you hate action films, you'll turn it off. If it's something that interests you, it's a thriller, it's horror. This looks like a horror thing. I want to watch it. You'll carry on. What keeps you coming back week after week are the characters. You start to get really interested in the characters. I hate this character. I fancy this character. I love this character. And then what gets people really absorbed is the universe that's been created. That's why people love Star Wars or Game of Thrones. It's so intense, the universe. They're dressed up as people from the Night's Watch, not even a character or stormtroopers, because it's part of the universe. And even if you have all this, it's like the best joke in the world. You know how to tell it. And that's when it comes to the scripting, which is just the panels and the pages. So when it came to Amuputation Capital, the universe, that is all Raymond, all of it. Okay, that's his concept, how the universe works. And the characters, those are mostly based on people he knows. What I provided was the plot and the dialogue. And again, there was a collaboration on all those things, but that's how it was. And together we wrote the story.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's a great way to put it.
I think, Al, you're on the news. Now, if you're a professional, you would know this.
I'm digging that. That's dope, because now that's one of those pyramid schemes that I could be down with. You made it like a pyramid boy, but no, that actually is the one pyramid that makes sense. I dig it. Like, where did you even come up with that, brother?
It came from. So I have models for the art, for the coloring and the lettering, and I teach. There's a free course on my website teaching you how to make comics, because I genuinely care about the medium.
A free course? Oh my God! So you mean they go to tpubcomics.com and they could see a free course? Oh
yes, because it's our mission to get more people reading and making comics. Because
wonderful.
In the UK, if you're reading comics at age 14, you're old to be reading comics.
Oh wow!
It's looked upon as childish. And Brian Michael Bendis, he told me that he was reading comics once, and he'd be embarrassed to read it on the subway in New York, like he was reading porn or something. He's hiding it. And I said, I did the same thing. I didn't want people to know I was reading comics, because I liked it. But sorry, I got so excited I went off track. What was the question?
No, it's all good, because just going back on the train thing. I used to have a lot of piercings, a mohawk, and I would grab my graphic novels and sit down on the train and read. I didn't care. And what was cool, people were actually asking me, "Oh, what is that? Is that new?" I'm like, "Oh shit, no! I was reading old graphic novels. Check it out." So now I had to stop my reading, because New Yorkers, being rude as they are, can't say excuse me. So I explained to them, and then by the time I finished explaining, there goes my stop, and now I couldn't read my chapter. So again, the question was how you even came up with these models and everything.
Oh yes, that's right. So when I first started making comics, because I never wanted to be a writer, I just fell into it because I was a fan of them. I realized I had to give feedback to the artists.
Okay.
And if you give feedback that says, I don't like this, well, that's rubbish feedback, because you're not explaining why. So I had to explain what are the elements that I'm not liking and why not. So that's why I say sometimes the plot is boring or the dialogue's boring. Okay, you're not really using the universe you've created here. Why not show me more about it? Or the characters, are they developing? Like, what's different about this character? Why should I relate to them? Why should I have an emotional response? I'll quickly show you what the it's supposed to be a circle, but I'll quickly show you here. This is the this is the
he's showing off his art skills, folks. Check it out.
So when it comes to the art, what matters most is the first thing you notice. Sorry, is the quality or the style. because if it's bad quality, you won't like it, or if the style is not to your liking, because you know it can be good quality but just not your taste, right?
Yeah, you're right.
The next is the clarity, and a lot of manga suffers from this, because if you this annoys me. So if you've ever read a book and you got lost on a page and realized, oh, I haven't taken anything in, you have to reread it. That's because the writers failed you. Something confused you on the page, so you didn't quite pay attention. And on a comic, if I have to actually, if I don't get it in a second, that to me is failing the reader, because the picture says 1,000 words. So that clarity is important. And then the most important one is the choice of shot. How have you chosen to frame it? What are you showing? What angle are you using to show it? What's in the background? All the choice of shot. And if you do it well, right, it should actually tie into this. Because
okay.
if it's a horror, the genre is a horror, does it look like a horror image on that page? Okay. If the character, are you showing is the character laying back smoking a cigarette like they don't care? Are you showing who this person is, what the clothes they wear? Are you revealing something about the universe? And can you do wordplay, like a double, triple meaning, what's being said and what's being shown, and visual metaphor? And then you have coloring as well, and it all ties together. Now, you can't always do as good as making all that, but that's when you do, that's when you make magic.
Right.
Gotcha. And you work magic on this book, fellas. Let me tell you, y'all work some awesome magic. I mean, look at the team. Look at this. This was a messed up scene too, man. Jesus Christ. Brutal.
It's quite a scene. Yeah.
Brutal stuff going on to the poor kid. I mean, at first I feel sorry for him, and then I wind up seeing, that he's not really a very pleasant individual after all.
No, he's not. It's definitely. I always have fun writing characters who aren't anybody would want to emulate, right? If you read this book and think, "Oh, Alfie's a cool guy," right? At the end of the book, you got it wrong. You got it wrong. Yeah. You know what I mean? Read it again. He's not. But I still, at the same time, it's still hard. It's still hard not to find empathy with him, right? Even though he's not a wonderful individual.
Oh yeah, I mean, look at this, and then the fact that again, it's a diverse book. So you have a diverse cast as well. I would say I probably credit that to where you were raised at or grew up at, lived at. You've been in cities that are apparently very diverse. So because you emulate what's around you when you want to introduce. So it's dope.
Yeah, absolutely.
This poor guy, poor guy.
He's the saddest character to me. He's also him and Morgan are also my favorite characters. If there's more continuing, like from this story on, it would definitely focus on Walter and Morgan.
You should. Please do, because there is something going on there. Because they definitely have quite the confrontation, if you will. The story, like, oh damn, what? Yeah. And woof, tough stuff. Yeah. And then the way you treat that 1% is really bougie and effed up people. My God.
Yeah. They're not portrayed particularly as good guys. The billionaire class story. I don't know where that comes from, but
Hey, listen, I totally understand. I mean, for real, it is batshit crazy. And look, again, so right now you guys are funded. We have 25 days to go. This is gonna be let's break some records. Let's manifest. It's gotta break some records, yo. All right.
I certainly hope so. Yeah.
Let's get it done. So, all right. So over here, look at all these different things. And I mean, they've all been reached at this point, correct? Yep. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Look at this. So the digital high five, screensavers, digital copies, stickers, graphic novel, physical copies. What's the T-Pup merch pack? What's that?
So the T-Pup merch pack is something that we created. I believe it has the sticker pack in it, and now I'm embarrassed because I'm actually gonna have to look what it has in it. Yeah, it's the sticker pack, tote bag, and 2 exclusive Amuputation Capital screensavers for your computer. So it's the tote bag and sticker pack and the physical book with the 2.
Oh man, yeah. I think you need to add a new tier here, like for more, and give us fake fingers, amputated fingers.
Right.
With the T-Pup logo on it.
we got some stretch goals coming soon. So
hey, there we go. Non-edible fingers, folks. Don't even try to bite into it.
Right. Please don't eat.
And look at this. Where did that come from? Because that shit was crazy right here. Skin is not a commodity. Neither are we. That shit is deep, especially when you read the story.
Yeah, I really liked that image, and I can say it now because we're gonna show the preview to everybody. So the framed art, right, that you get, if you back the framed art reward, the 100-pound reward, is going to be a framed poster size of that image blown up. It looks really cool.
Wait, you're trying to tell me I could get it for free because I'm over 100 pounds?
Right?
Sorry,
Yeah.
Money. You meant money. No?
Yeah, you get it. So yeah.
Awesome. Check this out. Look at all this stuff. Look at all these sexy books that T-Pub is putting out. So what are we getting to see where we get some stuff from here too?
Yeah. So if you did there's the T-Pub box reward, right?
T-Pub box. Let's get there.
And it comes with a graphic T-Pub box, like the Twisted Smile box, and then 4 graphic novels. All the graphic novels will be number 1 graphic novels. Yep, that's it. The T-Pub box.
Right there. Look at that.
Yep. And so you'll get all the graphic novels, you'll get all number 1 graphic novels, 4 books, a tote bag, the sticker pack, all the things from the other, and including the framed art as well, for 250 pounds. So
that's not bad, dude. Well, that's a hell of a deal, kiddo.
Yeah, that one's a solid one. I'm really excited about that reward. For anybody who wants to back it. And then the other reward is one only if you were a writer, right, and wanted to have if you have a story that you're working on and you want to have a writing session with Neil and I, and it'll be pretty. I'll say that should very well be worth it. We'll work with you for 2 hours in a session, and then we'll take a break. We'll come back and we'll do another 2 hours. So 4 hours of working with us total, and we can hopefully help you with your story or comic.
What? Writers, you better eat this up. You already saw Neil's plan, his pyramid and his circles and everything going on, because that's it, yo. I mean, real processes that could help you really, do something. I mean, and look at this, just a timeline on this one page. Look at that. Yeah. Oh, look how gorgeous. Let me even bring this up even bigger. Look how dope that looks.
Actually, what's interesting here is if you look at difference between page 1 and page 2, so the roughs and the inks, panels are different because we didn't.
Oh yeah.
We want them to change it. What didn't work for us?
Yeah, good job. So what made you? Okay, so what was bad about this one that it had to be changed to this? What was off about this to you from that professional perspective?
Bad, probably not the word, but definitely something that we wanted to change. Neil, what do you think? What was the?
I can actually look up the note, have a quick look, but just off the top of my head, I think it's because we've added an extra panel. So why would we have added a panel?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I think. I remember when we were rough lettering this, we had a discussion about this whole page in this section, and we thought it looked better as all in a row as it is on the second panel.
Yeah.
Or sorry, second. Second.
Can you remember which issue? Is that issue 2? Is it?
Yeah, that's issue 2. That's correct. Yeah. I remember when we were rough lettering it, I remember it was something that we thought that it flowed a good bit better. And then we also ended up changing some dialogue also around in the scene. If you notice, I think that there's less or more bubbles. If I remember this page correctly, this was a while ago.
Yeah, give me more bubbles though. I like to read. Give me more bubbles. I want to spend money on a book and feel like I actually read something.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'll say there's quite a bit. There's quite a.
Oh, sorry, I found out why.
Oh yeah.
Okay, what was the reason?
It was because the artist changed the script and drew it in. He removed a panel because he didn't think it was needed. And
I remember that. I think it was actually a mistake. If I remember correctly, I think it might have actually been a mistake of him having the wrong. I sent him the wrong.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, Raymond, what are you doing?
I sent him I remember exactly now. I sent him the wrong edit, the one right before the one that was finally done, and
okay.
it had the
Too
wrong
funny.
panel composition.
But
And
to
it
make
was
it up to him, Raymond bought him dinner, but Raymond didn't turn up.
I did.
Another skip out dinner, bro.
There you
Come
go.
on, bro.
No,
Did your phone die again? Too much belly button
Yeah.
laying on the phone. Come on. I did. So, oh man, we could join the T-Pub community. How? What's popping here? What is this?
We have a Discord channel where we
cool.
Talk and hang out with fans. We also have a monthly call. We're pretty T-Pub's pretty accessible. If you have something you want us to talk to you about in a friendly way, so you want some feedback on a comic or whatever, you can drop it in our Discord channel or just talk with us about comics. We're just in there hanging out.
So you guys do weekly shows? What's popping here?
Well, every Tuesday at 5 p.m. UK time, I have a writer's room thing where I'm making a new comic called Tabernacle, and I have so many notes. I've forgotten I write them. And so I would go through them and I think, okay, how to make a story? And we just pick the ideas from people, and I show people how I make the scripts. And people come in, they want to join it. And there was one time, actually, 2 weeks ago, I didn't organize it well in time. I was on holiday beforehand. I forgot to tell them it was back, and one person turned up. And so I said, well, you know what? Let's do one of your stories. So I just worked on it with her and her story for a bit because.
Oh, nice.
Everyone's
there you go. Wow. Yeah. See, this is community. This is what community should be about. Independent specifically, because this is why I love indies, man. Indies really help one another on a scale that you don't see anywhere else. Yeah.
And there's I gotta say something cool that Neil did, even though I don't know how if it's even on his radar to mention. But in Discord there was there's a lot of younger people, under the age of 21, in our Discord.
Younger than us.
Right, yeah, younger than us, and who posted about, how they didn't like how certain characters were written, like characters who had autism or characters who were queer. And so Neil, and he doesn't take any credit for this, was like, how about you guys come on a call and you can help me write some of these characters, right? And I thought that was cool. I thought that was cool. Right. Wow. He didn't think too much about it because it was just second nature to him. I'm like, oh, if you don't come on, let's
so help me represent it right. You know what I mean?
Right. Let's work. If you don't if you would genuinely like this in a comic, let's take a look. I always thought that was cool. So.
Oh man, enough respect, Mr. Gibson. Enough respect that you do that. That's amazing. Instead, you know what? Let's not bitch about it. Let's resolve it. Teach me how I could do this better for you guys. That's a good approach. That's a great mentality there. And this is why this book is kicking ass amongst everything else you do. You know what I mean? That's why you're putting out goodness to the world, man. And only comes back tenfold. And there it goes. Them. Are you guys going to be anywhere in a comic book? Because look at these faces. They deserve to be in the comic book, probably getting eaten too or something.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody would want to stare at our faces for.
Yeah, I don't think so.
All right. So the highest one that you have here is this amputation. What? I don't see any retail packages here. What's up, man? Or you really are trying to keep exclusive print just to this?
No, honestly, the retail packages, that's something that really we hadn't done that before on a Kickstarter. Okay. I know we distribute through Diamond, but now that you say that, now I think I messed up and I should have added a retail package.
You have 25 days to do it, Raymond.
Right, there we go. I have
add it.
Let me add the retailer package. I'll actually do that after the call because that's not a bad idea.
Because, dude, I mean, when people see a cover like this on the shelf, I mean, you know what I mean? They're going to be going to it like, what the hell is this?
Right. Yeah.
And I love how this looks here. I mean, there's that scene there in the book, and that's a very popular tool, apparently. Holy shit.
Jed McPherson came up with that, the the title logo. It was brilliant. I love Jed.
Amazing. Yeah. Amazing. You have a hell of a team over here. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. They're all wonderful people.
So what's up with this then? So you guys collect the money, print. This is just for the printing. I mean, how far along are we on that? Is just it gets funded and it gets printed and then getting shipped?
That's right.
Yep. Exactly. Well, funded, printed, shipped. We're ready to send it out to the printer. So yeah.
Wow, look at that. They're ready, folks. So chip in, make it rain, make it rain. You guys got a multitude of days, but don't you wait. All right. You got 25 days to go. Right now it's only 100. Wow, only 131 backers brought this to life like that. Wow,
Yeah,
yo, that's love, son. That's beautiful.
Solid. There have been some solid donations. I'm pretty happy about that.
This is great. And this, Raymond, this is your first Kickstarter?
Oh yeah, my first Kickstarter.
Gosh, are you holding his hand, Neil?
No, I hated doing Kickstarters, and this is your chance to shine. Go for it. I'm gonna have a cocktail.
Oh, this is great. All right, so folks, I'm sharing the Kickstarter. It's gonna be in the link below, right? That's the Kickstarter right there. You got time, but I know payday's coming up, folks. So this Friday, this Thursday, whenever you get paid, again, look, you see that motion, make it rain, all right, on this awesome project, because it is what it is. This is great. I read it. This is Comic Crusaders approved for sure. Again, this is something. Again, I don't get the chance to read comics too much. While I collect, I have a pile like this that I gotta catch up on. No lie, I mean, like, it's huge. But when I get these opportunities to read these things outside of what I collect, I'm like, I jump all over that first. Like, this takes priority over my own stuff. So then when I read it, I'm like, oh my God, I got to read my stuff, but this is so dope. I need to add this to my collection somewhere, because this is self porn. This is great stuff. All right. So I'm gonna ask you guys, are you guys doing any cons coming up for the remainder of the year where we could meet you, maybe even possibly get an autographed copy when this bad boy goes out?
Actually, I hadn't thought about that. This copy will be probably its first con sale. Will be New York Comic Con.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Neil, you going to New York Comic Con?
I should be. The pandemic, the first time I ever went. But yeah, I'll be going.
What about you, Ray?
I'll definitely be at New York Comic Con. I love New York Comic Con.
So we're gonna run into each other because I already got my pass and I'm ready to go. So we're gonna run. Right, don't you worry. You'll be hearing me screaming "Wet" by an Artist Alley. You'll be like, "This guy's over here somewhere. Where is he?"
You won't be at Artist Alley. You'll be in the small press area.
Oh, small press. Don't you worry. I'll go visit and I'll be loud over there too. Don't you worry. You're gonna hear me. You're gonna hear me. Send me a DM real quick. Like, I heard you. I'm at booth number. Or do you know your booth number already?
I don't know, but
I'm not sure.
I ask tough questions. I know.
No, it's okay. Stacy would know that. I'll have to text her after.
Yeah, we got to get it together, and then you send me that information too, because there's a lot of people going to New York Comic Con, and they should definitely meet you guys, because you guys have such great and phenomenal energy. Let me give you some flowers. It's flowers time. Thank you guys. Neil, you've heard this before, bro. You rock, man. And then just bring up that presentation. You already got me thinking with that triangle and that circle and everything you got going on there. Thank you for even doing something like that and being so helpful to the community. It's something that we need more. And Raymond, man, there you go. You rocking it. This is your first baby, and you look what you've already accomplished with the big homie here. I mean, continue to do what you do. This book thoroughly entertained me. God bless, bro, on this journey, because it's phenomenal. I could see this being a lot bigger than what it is, for sure. Like, if you had a dream, let's manifest a dream. And I like to ask this. I know most creators say that is not the intention. I'm not asking you if this was the intention. All I'm asking is if you had a choice to see this in another type of medium, what would you like to see it as? TV show, animation, movie?
We're repped by Grandview in the US, and my manager wants to make this into either TV or film. I haven't probably talked about it yet, but Raymond, what do you see it as? Is it a TV show or film?
I would love it if it was a TV show, because I have a lot more that I want to keep going in this world with Neil. So I'll say that I would love to keep going in this world and keep writing these stories, because I don't think I would run out of material anytime soon. I don't think Neil would either.
See, the way I see this as well is because, again, it is a corporation. So, you can make this an anthology series of how it affects the many different people that have kind of, worked with them. And I say worked very, with the quotes there, because, is it really working with them? They're users. But again, you'll find this out when you read the book, because it's like, whoa, mind-blowing stuff going on. Again, I don't know if we'll find those butt cheeks on sale somewhere. Maybe we will. Again, that's the one that made me laugh the most.
Stop mentioning the butt cheeks.
But that was just so funny to me. I was like, yo, oh my God, this is hilarious. Like, I was like, yo, okay, you guys, for real. But this is a great project. And I've been showing this off the whole show. Go to the Kickstarter right now. Very simple. Go to Project Amuputation Capital, right? Look it up and press back this project and go for them tiers. Get them print copies in your hand because they're going to be at New York Comic Con. You know what I mean? So never know. And if anything else, you can even pick up the rest of the T-Pub stuff. Go check out the website. Get all of that stuff because Neil's going to be at his booth ready to sign them all. And if you can't get them on T-Pub, it's all right. I'm sure he's going to have an inventory. He's going to be backpacking. He does not want to take that back home, folks. So make sure that you go over there and buy it all up because T-Pub really does rock. They got amazing stuff that really does support the independent community. You need to follow Neil at Twisted Neil. And trust me, he's twisted. I was hearing stories in the green room that, oh, my God, well, this guy's wild. You know what I mean? Don't let his demeanor fool you. Just kidding. He's a dope dude, man. And there we go with Raymond as well. Follow him at Ray Tyler Comics everywhere. That's where he's at, yo. So, I'll get to you in a minute, Neil. But Raymond, you being the new kid on the block, if you will, what type of advice would you give to any creator trying to step into the game?
I think that really just writing and creating every day is probably the most important thing. Even though you're seeing Amuputation Capital, I had written and done other works, about 5 others, before I selected this one. I was like, let me send this out. So I would say if you want to be a writer, just genuinely wake up every morning and try to start writing. Don't beat yourself up if it's a bit hard. You know, we all have writer's block and whatever, but really I think the most important thing is to create every day possible, and to also read things that aren't just comics. Study prose, read poetry, whatever. You know, I think that there was a quote, I think it was actually Alan Moore, said you're going to be about as good of a writer as you are a reader, and I think that's true. Read as much as you can and write as much as you can, and that's my only suggestion.
Yeah. If anything, you can also read the Abominations, haikus, you know, all that stuff.
Yeah.
What about you, Neil? As the vet in the game, you know, what type of advice you give to the young cats trying to come up?
Start small and finish it. So, people, a lot of new writers, this is a book 1 of a 7-part epic I want to make. Like, you haven't done a 7-page comic yet. Right? So, like, just make a 1-page comic. Right? Do that. Get it made. You'll learn a lot. You make mistakes, then do a 5-page one, and do a 20-page one. When you've got that, then you can build it next, and then you've learned how to do it. But just trying to start off the bat with no experience, you have to walk before you can run. That's what I say. And also finish it. If I met this guy at New York Comic Con a few years ago, I was doing a panel, and he said that he gets so many ideas. So for 2 years he's been trying to write a story, but the thing is he gets an idea for another story and another one. And I disagree with all the other panelists. They said to write down, capture other ideas, and then go back to your new ones. And I said, no, sorry, I disagree. If he's been doing this for 2 years, he hasn't finished a single story, then he needs to just pick one. If he has so many ideas, he'll still have more ideas in the future.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have the discipline to finish one, he'll never finish a single story in the future.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do shit half-assed, folks. At the end of the day.
That's what I should have said.
Just like that, right?
Yeah, that's the New York in me. It's like, don't do shit half-assed. Just get that one done and then work on your other stuff. But make sure you get that one right and work with a mentor. Because, you know, I could see how you guys, you know, Raymond was bold enough to submit and take Neil's words and criticisms, and next thing you know, they formed that bromance and created a beautiful project here in Amuputation Capital from T-Pub. For real, it is a fantastic book. I can't give this more flowers, yo. I mean, 5 stars for me because it was thoroughly entertaining, and the way it ends, I was like, oh shit. And of course, you leave it in a position where there's so much more to tell as well. So I can't wait to see a possible sequel and more out of this. And if you, Neil, man, don't tease me about no movie, TV stuff. I can't wait because it's going to be some good stuff. I know it will be. Can't wait.
Conversation about it. Yeah, just our manager wants it. That's all.
Yeah. Well, if you need a Puerto Rican's finger or something, I'm here. Look, my fingers are nice.
Send it to me in the post.
Right. The way your face just went dead when you said that. Send it to me in the post.
Right. He says it really serious too. Like, you know what though? It's too expensive to ship to the UK right now. You know what I mean? Those boats, they'll never get there. They'll probably get gray by the time we get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. So with that, again, please follow my big homie Ray Tyler at Ray Tyler Comics. Follow my other homie right here at Twisted Knee all over the socials. Check out the amazingness of TPub Comics, an amazing independent publisher. All right. And of course, support this dope ass project on Kickstarter today, Amuputation Capital. And again, hang out with them. Learn something at the TPub Discord. All right. I'll put that link at the bottom too, since I just got this one. So I'll add it. That way you could click away, subscribe, join, and make sure you put on those notifications for when they go live. All right. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time today. It was fun. Love talking about this stuff with you guys. You guys totally rock. And family, you know what to do, right? Follow everything Comic Crusaders at comiccrusaders.com. Follow my extended family over at undercovercapes.com. And a little bit, we're going to be talking in the next episode to a big boy too. And I'm going to mention this to them as well. Like, yo, have you heard about this book? All right. And with that, much love, guys. Hasta la próxima. Wepa! Later. Thank you for listening to the Comic Crusaders Podcast. If you like the content, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, please visit comiccrusaders.com and our extended podcast family over at undercovercapes.com. And also, make sure to download the Comic Crusaders app on the Google Play Store today.
Hey, Raymond's somehow here. Raymond, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
I don't know why you logged off. We're still here in the green room.
Wait, you're still there?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, let me go.
The show's over, but we just talked to Al.